I'm Dr. Jeanne Schul, and today we're going to be talking about the effects of culture or the impact of culture on our dream life. Getting a sense of when we're from different parts of the world, what our environment teaches us about dream, and also how dreams are valued. And we have a special guest today.
Yeah, my name is Funmilayo Peters. I'm a student here at Berry College, and Dr. Schul is my professor.
Yeah.
Home is a little bit different from America. Things are a little bit different. People take things a little bit serious, if I may say, than here in America, because maybe civilization has really penetrated deeper here than home. Dreams are taken very serious at home.
Now, for me, where is home for you? Can you give us a sense of that?
Okay, I'm from Nigeria. I was born in Lagos. My parents still live in Lagos. We probably die in Lagos.
That's home.
So, I live in Lagos before coming to the United States. So my parents still live in Lagos up till now.
And how long have you called the U.S. home?
Oh, it's been a home for me for 7 years now.
Okay.
7 years.
So when you were a child, did your mother or your grandmother give you any sense of how to think about or value your dreams as a little girl?
Yes, dreams are very important. Dream is like, when you dream, it's like showing you a vision of where you've been, where you are, and where you're going. So it can be the three-dimensional shape. It depends on how it's been interpreted. To my grandmother believes that there are like 3 types of dream. Is it that the ancestors are trying to communicate with you?
So your ancestors.
Yes, they want to tell you something, or they want to caution you that maybe watch out, or maybe something is coming in the future.
So this is ancestors who have passed.
Who have passed.
Okay.
Who have
So you're
passed.
getting a communication from
Communication
the other
from
side.
the other side.
Okay.
And my mother's era, it's a little bit different. She has the ancestor side, and because she's a Christian, she's seeing things in a Christian spiritual way, if I'm making any sense.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so
she's got a Christian filter, your mom.
Yeah.
But not your grandmother.
Not my grandmother.
Okay.
So my mom will be like, okay, if you have a dream, what kind of dream it is? If it's tragedy, or maybe we need to pray. Maybe we need to really seek God's guidance on the issue. Or if it is a good thing, we should pray that it should not be aborted. It should come to fulfillment.
Mm.
That's the way my mom would see it.
Okay.
In my own era, when you have a dream, it's like, oh, maybe you ate too much before you go to bed. Or maybe you are hungry and you are thinking of food. Or you have fever.
So it's taken much more lightly
Yes.
for your generation.
Yes,
As
opposed to my grandmother and my mother, things will see lightly now. She's not going to see it lightly that way. She takes things very, very serious. She will call me and say, she had a dream. This is what she saw in her dream. We should fast and pray. I'm like, for how long are we going to fast until God says stop? I'm like, I can't just do that.
Okay, so she's calling you from Nigeria.
From Nigeria to tell me things. And sometimes she could be on track.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes.
Do you have an example of
Yes.
that?
There was, my son had glaucoma in his eyes. Before we left Nigeria, we knew, but we didn't know the extent of the damage to his eyes. And when we left home, we saw his doctor. I guess it's because the limitation of resources back home, they could not do much for him. So it was really God that gave us the grace that coming over here, we have we have access to facilities that are present here. So when we got here, I was still using the medications we brought from home on him. Then my mother called. I said, "Have you seen a doctor over there?" I said, "No, normally he sees doctor once every month back at home. That we are not a month here. That I'm thinking maybe by next month we will go look for a doctor that will, because it's not just any doctor that will see him. We'll go, yes, we have to go look for the kind of doctor that will be useful for his case." So she said, "No, we should go now. Now. That she had a dream that we should go now or else something will go bad." So I didn't really take it serious. They should call back that same day. She called me 3 times.
From Nigeria?
From Nigeria. That day, that have you checked? Have you asked questions? Have you looked around? So I had to do it the next day. And thank God we did. Thank God we did. Because by the time my son would be seeing a doctor here in the US, that was when they told us the extent of the damage to his eye. So he's lost some vision, some percentage of his eyes. His left eye has lost over 60%. We did not know. So if we had not gone out to say doctor immediately, maybe you will just wake up one day and he will be blind. And I mean, as the ones he's lost it forever. You can't regain the nerves back. But at least they were able to stop the damage. So he's seeing. He's just using glasses to read. So sometimes she could be on track, and sometimes it could be maybe she overeat.
So you're not convinced every dream she has?
No.
Hit the red alert button.
No, I mean, sometimes it could be too heavy. It's too serious. Like, "Mom, slow down." But that's the way she grew up. That's the way she sees things. So it's different from me, that I would try to think logically that, is this really true? Okay, Mom, let's investigate. She doesn't have time for investigation. If she have any dream, she's attacking the dream with fasting and praying.
I love it. But then your grandmother, you said, has a different take altogether.
She has all different take. She sees it as maybe the ancestral was trying to talk to her. Then she will try and consult the ancestor. I don't know how they do that thing, but she has her ways. She's just her perspective on dream. I can't really comprehend it because I didn't really understand most of the things she talks about. But my mom does. My mom does, because that's the way she grew up too. So it's a little bit different, because she will have to like consult some people that will consult the ancestor and stuff like that.
So see if I'm understanding it. So if your grandmother has a dream, then she goes to somebody who's like a specialist
to interpret the dream.
And then from there,
then they will tell her what to do.
Maybe a ritual.
Or we need to maybe buy stuff for some people. Maybe some people will need something. You go buy something to appease the god.
Kind of make peace.
Yes.
Okay.
To appease the god, which I don't understand. But that's what she does, and it works for her. She gets results.
Now your grandmother
she's passed.
Is passed.
Yeah.
But in your lifetime, when you were still in Nigeria.
Yes, when I was still in Nigeria, when I was a little bit, she passed away before I got married. So she didn't really know much about my life now. She doesn't know when I got married and stuff like that. But before then, I remember when we go to see her for Christmas, she would sit us down, tell us stories and how she's been able to stay alive. A lot of people wanted her to be dead long ago, and that she had a dream, and she went for the interpretation of the dream. The person interpreted the dream to her, and she did what they asked her to do. And maybe she was supposed to be in a car accident. She was supposed to be in this car. She decided, because she did whatever they asked her to do. She didn't take that car. She took the next car, and the car she did not take had an accident. She said, "Yay! Thank God."
How interesting. So it was as specific as
yes.
cars.
Yes, is that
Okay.
specific? They would tell her. Actually, they will tell her the exact thing that's about to happen.
So in this case,
In my case, maybe she'll have seen it if she was alive. Maybe that's why my mother saw it too. I don't know. I don't know.
Understood.
But I did not have that dream.
so we have probably I would think your grandmother is kind of the starting place, or the she
Yes.
holds the culture.
She does. She really, really. If she's alive, I don't know. Maybe I will be involved in that kind of a thing too.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. But because we were born far away from her, she stays in another state.
I
I
see.
lived in Lagos. Lagos is like cosmopolitan kind of
Uh-huh.
a place. So, and she's in the village. So
Uh-huh.
her lifestyle is a little bit different from
Sure.
ours. So I don't know if she's still alive. She might imbibe some of this thing in us. I don't know. But my mom lived with her all her life before she got married to my dad. So she has some of this stuff. But the way she sees things is a little bit different from my grandmother. She sees things in a Christian kind of way, while my grandmother will try and consult some people to interpret her dreams. What does it mean? What does she need to do? If there's any evil coming, what can we do to avert the evil?
So can you give us a handle on that? I mean, I would say in modern dream culture we might think of shadow, so it's not
no,
that rare.
it might be as real as someone's trying to stab you in your dream.
Uh-huh.
It might be as real as somebody shooting you with a gun
Ah.
in your dream. And not to kind of alert anybody, those things are real. They could be as real as me sitting with you right now.
Mhm.
Or maybe civilization had taken some of the effect of those things away. I really do not know.
Mhm.
But I knew when I was growing up, it could be that real. It could be that's real.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But the take that your mom has put on it is still, it's really as though it's a
It's
message
real.
from the God.
Yes.
From God. Singular.
She's taking it very serious. She doesn't take dream for, and if you dream, if you tell her, "Oh, I had a dream," oh, can you imagine? Maybe you're just joking. You just say, "Oh, mom, can you imagine? I had a dream that so person is coming to the house today." You are joking. She's taking it serious.
Okay.
You are just saying, maybe you're in the kitchen, in the kitchen table, you're just saying, can you believe, mom, I even had a dream of so person. She will keep quiet. She's trying to digest what you just told her. She's trying to dissect it, trying to sieve the important fact from it. Then she will start asking questions.
Okay.
So what happened in the dream? What were you doing in the dream? How did it happen in the dream? After it happened, what did you do in the dream?
Oh, so she's asking questions, trying to get a sense of the progression.
Yes. So then she will start telling you stuff that, oh, maybe it's not just a dream. Maybe something good is coming. If it depends on what the dream
Mhm.
is about. Or maybe we should take things serious. Maybe you're no longer as you are no longer in contact with God as you're supposed to be. Maybe you're not praying enough. Maybe you're not fasting. Maybe you're not reading the Word of God enough. She will start. My father calls every Sunday to talk to my son, to my kids, not to talk to me, but to ask if we go to church. Every Sunday.
Oh. So
He
even
does-
across the ocean, in another
He
continent.
wants to know if we're in contact with God, because he believes without God, you are nothing.
So
Yeah.
that is what so strongly influences
Yeah, so
their dream life.
it's still there. They want it to be, because they don't They believe they don't have anything if they don't have God.
Mhm.
So God is a provider. Whatever you are today is by the grace of God. So if and God doesn't move away, it's you that move away from God. So if you're not in contact with God, then maybe that's why you have that dream.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
That's the
Wow.
way my mom will say it. And sometimes my dad doesn't talk much. He doesn't really say much in the house. It's my mom that wants to know going on in everybody's life.
And so am I hearing you that maybe it's the matriarchy, the feminine
I think
lineage?
so. I really do. I really do think so. I really do think so. And to be really, my sister is like that. The last born, she's the one still at home. She's like that. She will say she dreamt one dream, and she will call me to tell me, "Oh, I had this dream. Was like this." I said, "Okay, so I've heard. Thank you."
So
I've
she's
heard-
continue.
Yes, she is. She is actually. She's serious in dreams like that. It's not as if I don't take dreams serious, but I don't take it as serious as they do.
Right.
They do. If I had any serious dream, I know that this is a serious one. Then maybe I really need to pray. Maybe I believe in the power of prayer. That's my background. That's the way I grew up. But I don't usually take everything line by line like my mom would do, word for word, because the person said this, then you said this. There must be a reason for the person to say this before you can say this. Maybe you should not have said this, you should have said. She will analyze every word, every verb, every sentence, every vowel. Sometimes like, mom, slow down. It's not as bad as it is said. Anything bad is bad. So I don't want to know the degree of how bad it is.
Oh.
So that's the way I personally grew up, and that's the way they see dream in my house. As in my parents' house. When I say my parents' house, I don't know if it is like that in other people's house, but in my culture, Yoruba, I'm from Yoruba, and they take dreams very serious. Very, very serious.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank
you
you.
so much.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, wonderful.